Look, I wouldn't call this forged because the fact is I have lost one of my book and I have to add it up. Wow, free buffet and 4 of them.
明天中午还是有餐位的，明天晚餐已经订满了。不好意思，明天晚餐位置是已经订满了。
8月10号礼拜五晚上，拜拜，谢谢。
感谢你的来电，再见。
That is the library of our city, but usually if you see an infrastructure like that, it's always more than that. So who's so generous to offer the free buffet voucher? Well, nothing comes for free, but the win-win situation does exist. And today I will not only discuss why I believe Minsheng Yinghang, today's sponsor, is one of the best banks in China, I believe, and I will also share my experience about financial management, but first make the vouchers worthy. Okay, so long story short, the reason I get free vouchers is because I got savings in my bank account, and based on the volume of the saving, you will get reward points. With those reward points, you can be creative of how you want to use them. Other banks have similar reward systems, but since Bank of Minsheng isn't one of the 5 state-owned banks, so it kind of have more perks even with the same amount of saving in your bank. And what's more, if you have ever used WeChat or Alipay, you can put your money inside a kind of financial investment, and whenever you want to take it out, it has no limitation. Right now, the annual interest is around 1.8, 1.9. I gotta say the function is brilliant, and a few years ago, the bank also provided the same system. And according to my experience, Bank of Minsheng provides the highest interest of all cards. You know, I'm just by my feeling and my experience, but my cousin, a few weeks ago, he actually have done this research. It kind of proved that the Bank of Minsheng does have the highest interest. 2 things in mind. If you want to invest, you need to go to local bank and do a quick assessment. And I know the interest isn't high, but usually higher interests come with higher risks. Anyway, if you're interested, you can call the bank. Second thing is the buying and withdrawal policy has changed a little bit. Before you can withdraw whatever amount as long as it's before 5:30 p.m. But now it has been changed to you need an extra 24 hours before you can get the withdrawal. The total amount doesn't matter too much. I don't think that really affects me too much because it's just an extra 1 day. The reason I prefer bank is, first of all, the interest is relatively higher. Secondly, if you want to transfer it to your bank or other one's bank, there is no extra transfer fee. For WeChat and Alipay, it does exist. So, since we have talked a little bit about financial investments, there's 2 more things I want to share with you. If you have already watched this video, you might remember that I mentioned about the SPD Bank. It provides investment for US dollar, right? A few days ago, the ICBC called me and mentioned that they're able to provide 5% annual interest for US dollar. You know, that is a huge deal because for CNY, even if you put your money into a 3-year fixed program, the interest is no more than 4%. And if you just the annual interest, it's like 2.1%, somewhere around that. For 5%, you can see the detail here. It's really a huge deal. I do understand that there are risks. For instance, let's say now you put your 10,000 US dollar in your bank account. Right now, 1 US dollar is 6.7, and after 1 year, 1 US dollar only equals 6.3. Then even they provide you 5% annual interest there. The fact is, at the end of the day, you still lose its original value. But let's say the Chinese, the US dollar is only for your travel purpose or something like that. You want to use it for a year, then put it in investment program is definitely better than let it sit on bank and have like 0.1% interest, right? And another thing I want to share with you also relates to US dollar. As a Chinese, you may not want to pay attention to US dollar. But let's say if you want to go to Thailand to travel, and here the change rate with the calculation on screen, you can see travel with US dollar is relatively better than travel with CNY. You might say, hey bro, the difference is so meager. I do agree with you. I just want to point out there is different, and when the quantity is huge, then the difference is also huge. You know, so although we are just the Chinese, you need to kind of pay attention to the financial investment to the US dollar, because after all, USA is still one of the most powerful countries in the world. So that's it for me today. See you in the next one.